Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're mapping out a really exciting journey, the path from being just curious about design to becoming a real design professional. If you've ever looked at an app and thought, hey, I could do that, or just wondered what it takes to break into the tech world, well, you're in the right place. We're going to break it all down, step by step.
So let me ask you something. What makes an app just a joy to use? What's the difference between an app you use for 5 minutes and then delete and one that you can't live without? That smooth, easy feeling, that's not an accident. That is the result of some seriously good design. And that magic? It's got a name, UI/UX design. It's really two sides of the same coin. Think of it like this. UI, the user interface, is all the stuff you see, the buttons, the colors, the typography. But UX, the user experience, is what you feel. Is it easy? Is it confusing? Is it satisfying? The whole goal here is to mix art, a little psychology, and technology to create something that's not just beautiful, but also completely effortless to use.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty cool, right? But the big question you're probably asking yourself is, yeah, but is this something I could actually do? Let's figure that out. Let's look at who this field is really for and what you actually need to get started.
Now this is the part I think is so great. The barrier to entry is lower than you might think. This is a perfect fit for anyone with a creative spark, and you do not need to be a coding genius to start. The core things you need are pretty simple: a good sense of what looks and feels right, that aesthetic sense, and, basic computer skills. That's it. That's the foundation you build everything else on.
All right, so you've decided, yep, this is for me. So, what do you actually learn? This is where the training montage begins. Let's pull back the curtain and see how you build up that toolkit to become a pro designer.
Great design isn't just a happy accident. It follows a really clear, logical process. It all starts with user research, which is just a fancy way of saying you figure out who you're designing for. Then you get into wireframing and prototyping, basically creating the blueprint of your app. And finally, you get to usability testing, where you put your design in front of real people to see what works and what doesn't. It's this constant cycle, learn, build, refine, and repeat.
Behind every great designer is this deep understanding of the fundamentals. This is the why behind every choice you make. Things like typography and color theory are what make an app feel friendly or serious, easy to read or a total mess. And responsive design? That just means making sure it looks amazing on any screen, from a tiny phone to a huge desktop monitor. This stuff is the bedrock of your skills.
Of course, theory is great, but you've got to get your hands dirty, right? In the real world, that means mastering the tools of the trade. You'll be learning the industry-standard software that design teams at major companies rely on every single day. And this isn't just about learning where the buttons are. It's about learning to think and create just like a professional designer does.
So why learn all this theory and master all these tools? It all points to one simple, incredibly important goal: building real portfolio projects. In the design world, your portfolio is your resume. It's the physical proof of what you can do. So any good training program is laser-focused on helping you create professional-level work that you'll be proud to show off to anyone who's hiring.
Okay, you've put in the work. You've mastered the skills. You've built an awesome portfolio. So what's the payoff? What's the professional outcome? Let's talk about how this all comes together to launch a career.
I really think this quote just says it all. The goal isn't just to fill your head with knowledge, it's to build confidence. It's about getting to a place where you can walk into a professional environment, look at a real-world project and think, I've got this. That feeling of being totally prepared, that's the real transformation.
And get this, how long does a transformation like that take? Just 10 weeks. Seriously, think about that. In about the same amount of time it takes for a new season of your favorite show to air, you could build a complete, in-demand skill set and be totally ready for a new career in tech. It's an intense, focused sprint towards a really amazing goal.
So, we've walked through the whole journey, right? From just asking what makes an app feel good all the way to having the skills and the confidence of a professional. The path is clear, it's structured, and it's totally achievable. So really, the only question left is the one right here on the screen. What will you create?